Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial about ModelConverterX. In this video tutorial I want to demonstrate a new functionality, and that's a feature to create one big object, one scene from separate flight simulator objects and placement information. I'll explain a little bit more detail what it's doing in a bit, but let me first show you where you can find this new feature. If you go to the wizards menu, there's a scene builder wizard there now, and if you click on it you get this form. And basically what you can do here is you can load some BGL files. So I take some BGL files from a scenery here and I add them to the list, and what the tool will do is it will load those BGL files and look at all 3D objects, all models that are defined in there, and it will look at all the placement information that's defined there. So the latitude, longitude, heading at which those objects are placed. And then with that information it will build one scene, one object that contains all the buildings, all the ground polygons, whatever you've selected in those BGL files, and turn it into one big scene. That might be useful if you want to convert the scenery to some other platform. Or when used on small scale it might help with the performance by combining different objects in one scene. So let's show you a little bit how to work with it. So like you just saw, you add all the files you want to load here in the list. If I made a mistake I can still select one and remove it again. And then here on the left you have a few options. The first checkbox is to indicate that the input BGL files are designed for FSX with the curved Earth. So if you have like ground polygons that are following the Earth and have been corrected for that, or if you've corrected the 3D buildings for it, you need to check this checkbox to make sure that the calculations are done correctly. But I guess with many sceneries you don't need this except for the ground polygons. Then the second checkbox, you can specify that you want the output to be either in the like FS 2004 style flat Earth, or if you want the output to be in the geocentric FSX coordinates. I'll leave it flat Earth for now. And then with the third checkbox you can specify that you want to limit the area that's being read. By default this wizard will use all the object placements that are found in the BGL files and combine them into one scene. If you only want to combine like a part of your airport or maybe a part of your city, you can specify here the bounding coordinates of that part that you want to process, and then only those object placements that are within this area are being processed. Well, I don't do that now, I just want to process everything. So once the settings are done you press generate scene and it will start loading all those BGL files. If you specified many BGL files here, or maybe very big libraries, it might take some time to load them. And you see now the wizard is done. The screen is cleared to indicate that it's done. And on the background you see it has made one combined scene of all the objects, all the ground polygons for this particular scenery, which is an airport in the Netherlands. I'm using here some models from the Netherlands 2000 team just to demonstrate this feature. And if we quickly go back to the wizard, you also see that it is giving a little bit of information here. It has placed 18 objects, so all those buildings, ground polygons, fences. It also reporting that there were 219 placements that it couldn't process because no object was found for them. And I can show the widths of those objects. It's a pretty long list. In this case I know there's a reference to the default FSX vegetation models in the BGL file as well, and I didn't put that library in my list, so it's the 3 models that are missing here, and there might be some references to other shared libraries that I didn't include here. But if you look up in which library those grids are defined and you add them to the list of BGL files that need to be processed, you will get all the objects in your scene. And yeah, that's basically the new feature I want to demonstrate. Once you've used the wizard to create this one scene, You can use the normal functionality to export it to any format you want and do the manipulations that you want to do. So I hope you find this new feature interesting. If you have any questions or issues with it, please use the forum on FS Developer to discuss them. And thank you for watching to this video.